from newstalkzb.co.nz. It's Andrew Dickens.
It's my great pleasure to welcome into the studio for the final interview, Lucy Lawless. Good morning.
Good morning, Andrew.
And we have you in because tonight you are to tantalise the naughty parts of nocturnal activity.
Yeah, there'll be a little bit of that, I will say. I made an R18 to come to my show at the King's Arms because, first and foremost, it's a pub.
Yeah.
And I really don't like seeing kids at my shows because you never know what's going to come out of our mouths. And with Anika Moore and Julia Deans, you really don't, I want to give them free rein. So, yeah, it's a wild, raucous night. So it's best that it's just grown up.
It's a one-off rock concert?
Yep. Actually, now we've been invited to go and do something at the Whiskey. So we'll see if we can make that happen, exactly. Squeeze all of us onto that tiny stage.
But definitely rock, because the last time I saw you singing was at the New Zealander of the Year Awards, and you were doing you were doing something more vampy then.
Yeah. No, this is about a raucous good time. So a rock set, it seemed to fit with the King's Arms, and this is what we want to do. And
you're saying iconic songs. What do you mean by this?
Well, that wasn't my word actually, but no, we're doing big fun songs. So there will be. It's no good if we're doing Lucy Lawless originals. That'll be lovely. But we want everybody. We want to bring the party, and so we're gonna have big stupid hits like "I Was Made for Loving You" by Kiss, because people like Anika and Jason Kerrison don't often get the chance to do big stupid rock anthems, right? And I think that was the appeal for them, and something by some more modern, hipper stuff. But it's peppered in with good old standards.
And was this your idea, or was this you as a club of singers deciding let's have a good time?
No, this was me and my buddy Jason Sonic Smith, and we were having a bottle of wine, and we heard Joe LaDuca was coming down. He's been our musical director on a few shows in the States, and we said let's do a show. Yeah, let's do a show. And so the next day I was committed. They all took off to other parts of the world, and I was left holding this unborn baby, and had to kind of push it into the world.
Because this isn't the first time you did that singing tour with Dave Dobbin. That was a whole summer's worth, wasn't it? 2002.
Oh gosh, yes, that was a long time ago.
10 years ago now.
Yeah. I learned a lot since then, but that was an amazing privilege to see Dobbo up close.
Yeah.
He's a beautiful man.
And there's the live album from when you played the Roxy Theatre in Hollywood, and you've got a couple of albums that are out. How important is singing to you?
It is an adjunct to my acting, really. I mean, it's performance. I'm a performer. I'm not a rock star. I'm not a musician. But I'm I can't help myself being a bit of an extrovert and a show off, and so fortunately I've got a bunch of friends who want to come on and provide a good time for a whole lot of people.
Because I was very surprised when I was watching the last episode of Spartacus that you decided to jump off a cliff, and I thought, well, that's the end of Lucretia. So
that's the end of Lucretia. No, I think she's the Wile E. Coyote of Spartacus. I think she's hanging from a branch by her long gown, holding the baby, going. She's really pissed.
But when I heard about the concert as well, I thought, well, maybe that you're setting off in a new direction, that you've done your acting for a couple of seasons in Spartacus, and now the music's back as your primary goal. Is that right or wrong?
Well, I like to do things that scare myself, just personally. I want to go disgracefully into old age when it happens. I want to have earned it, and fortunately, a lot of cool people are coming along with me. So you're all invited, King's Arms. But you have to buy tickets online because I'm not sure there will be dual sales anymore.
Okay. And, what is happening with the acting career now? I mean, you're saying Lucretia may not be written out? I know they're filming the new series of Spartacus as we speak.
Oh, no, she's gone.
She's gone. What an amazing role that was, can I say?
Thank you, yes. Such a privilege.
It got a lot of press because of all the nudity and the graphic violence and the gallons of blood that was splashed across the screen. But actually, as a work, I thought it was magnificent. I love the language of it. I love the acting performances of it. I love the plot of it. It was a fantastic piece of work.
It was a rewarding show to watch. I think the viewer got a lot out of it.
Not afraid about all the nudity that was part of it at the time?
Oh yes, it was plenty. There was plenty of fear, but courage is not the absence of that.
No.
And the role was so good, I couldn't turn it down. I had to I had to fulfill a role, and that was part and parcel of it. So.
And I think that was part of it, because the Roman times were orgiastic.
Oh, Rabelasian.
Yes. Yeah, lovely word. Yes.
You can have it. I want you to use that 4 times
Revelation.
today.
Okay, sure. Okay. And of course, they all were wearing togas the whole time. It was one big toga party in Rome with a lot of killing.
Woohoo! Yeah, much like tonight at the King's Arms.
Yeah. Okay. So what will happen next with your acting, or are you just a free agent now?
I will. I've just come off Jane Campion's show, doing a little role on that, which was so fascinating to work with her. Honestly, New Zealand can be so proud of her as a creative entity. Is really out of this world. I'm so honoured to have done that. But I will go back to the States and look for work there. Yeah.
Worried about it?
No, I mean, life seems to roll itself out the way it should. It's okay.
Because, I'm
pretty busy.
You are busy.
I'm pretty busy.
But in Hollywood or Auckland Wood, whatever you want to call it, the show business, you do get to a certain stage of your career. It has been a long one. You are in those terrible 4s.
Not terrible at all. You know what? I think if you think of yourself as an artist rather than a star, then you're in much better shape, because an artist goes on forever and you never... well, I was going to say you never get worse, but in fact, who can explain some of the things that Al Pacino's done?
Yeah.
But
yes.
No, you never. Okay, cut that.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Scent of a woman. Never liked that one. Good on you.
It's been some pretty weird choices, though.
Yeah.
But no, I mean he is a great artist. So. So anyway, you were saying about the terrible 4s. Tell me what's terrible
I think
about
you're
the 4s.
transitioning into a new phase of your career, and I was wondering if you had a vision of it.
I don't see it as that, because I never saw my career as something to manipulate. I'm just not that kind of person. I'm not... I do have big dreams, but to be ambitious and pointed has never been my mode of operation. That's failed for me. That doesn't work for me. And I find if I was the kind of person who chased things really hard and went gunning for things, I wouldn't be any more successful than I've been by sort of floating on. And that way I've managed to have a baby, 3 babies, 3. Managed to have a good marriage, have a home, and keep working. Whereas I think if I'd been really pointy and ambitious, it might have impinged on all those other things. So it's worked out good.
You said earlier that you wanted to go disgracefully.
Totally. Oh, just bravely.
Bravely.
Bravely into the
and
future.
it certainly was brave to spend 77 hours on the top of the drilling rig.
Yeah.
And of course that the case has now been adjourned twice. So it's June 13th.
No, 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
4 times.
Is this delay pressing on you?
No. Well, I'm not sure what it's about. There's no explanation for why they need more time. But you have to trust that the police they have a lot of other things on their plates. Yeah. So I have to trust that that's just the way it goes in the court system. I don't think we're special in that regard.
You haven't put a plea in as yet, have you?
No, because we haven't got charges. We haven't had the charges.
Would you? Are you going to plead guilty, or have you had?
Well, it depends what it is.
Oh, well, you don't even know.
Don't know what it is.
Occupying and trespass is the presumption, obviously.
Well,
so.
I couldn't possibly speculate.
How do you feel about that time in February now?
Well, I feel like it's something that had to be done. And if it's within your sphere of influence, you're going to do these things because time is of the essence as far as where the planet's going and climate change. So I feel like it was just dirty work that had to be done, so it might as well be me, and it worked out really well.
You said I'm thankfully. A mother. I don't do these things. I'm a mother. I don't do these things.
Well, I'm a mother. That's why I do these things.
And that's also why you do it. So it was outside your comfort zone to do it in the first place, or?
Oh well, yeah, totally. It's outside of everybody's comfort zone, but we're all dedicated to making this a survivable planet for our children and grandchildren, because sure as eggs are eggs, 80 years will pass and we'll be, our behaviour now will bear terrible fruit, or we can mitigate the effects of our behaviour in terms of fossil fuel consumption. So yes, it's dirty work, but somebody's got to do it.
So is there a moment in your life that has had the most influence on you?
Well, maybe that was it. Apart from the obvious things like, having kids, obviously, but maybe that was a big turning point in my life. I'd rather not have broken the law to do something to get the attention of the world about what companies like Shell are doing to the Arctic and therefore to us all. But there just didn't seem to be any other way. These things are all being done.
Do you worry that if you do get a conviction, it may curtail your work, like in the United States?
Yeah, that is a possibility.
And you knew that when you went up?
Yeah.
So you knew the risks?
Yeah.
And do you feel that people have respected you for that move, or do you feel...
For the most part. For the most part.
Have you had any negative feedback?
Oh, yes. My own dad's like, but you didn't have to break the law.
No. That's Frank, the former mayor of Mount
Dad.
Albert.
Yeah. I felt we did.
That's the thing about mayors. They tend to keep to the law, except in the North Shore.
It was so funny to me. It's like, okay, of all the 7 children in my family, I'm the disappointment. But no, my dad loves me, but, I'm challenging.
Daisy, your first... She's 24 now.
Nearly 24.
Boy. And she does voice work. Is she following Mum's footsteps into drama, or are you?
Not really. My daughter wants to be in animation. She wants to produce cartoons. So she's met some of the greats over in America at Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network and Matt Groening from Simpsons. And she's pretty lucky that she's had been exposed to those kind of influences in her life, and but I would not have picked that for her. I didn't even know that was a job, really, So, she does that and works in post-production, visual effects.
But gosh, look at you, a 24-year-old. No one would pick it.
Oh, bless you.
Do you have a philosophy for life? A saying, a motto,
Lots.
A mantra.
Yeah, I do have lots. Currently, what's on my mind is never explain, never apologize.
Yeah.
Which isn't always true. If I do something wrong, I'm going to say, and I feel sorry. I'm going to cop to it, But I love that as a, I think as Kiwis we're pretty apologetic about everything. About the weather. Oh my God, guys, we've got to stop going on about the weather to like visiting Americans or Brits or whatever. Stop saying, oh, sorry, it's raining, or you missed the good weather, or something. Who cares?
Yeah.